the one that mounted this on the wall for us. Alright? I think that's pretty cool. So when you see Pastor Mike after the service, you be sure to tell him thank you. Okay? Now, I am videotaping, so just everybody go ahead and get out of your seats and turn around and wave at the camera. Okay. Now, I'm videotaping because then I can watch it and learn how to be a better teacher. Okay? I think that I do a decent job, but I want to be better. So, that's why I'm videotaping. And also, this summer, I'm going to a kids camp in Alabama. I'm going to be, up in Birmingham. Near Birmingham. Yeah? Sweet. I'm going to a kids camp up there, and I'm actually going to be speaking. I'm going to be, preaching, teaching the kids at that camp this summer, and I want other opportunities to do that, so I got to videotape myself teaching. So we're going to do a brand new song this morning. It's called Good Morning. So, good morning!
Good morning!
Turn it up a little bit, Stacy. Again, will it be here? Let's get going. Don't let the daylight disappear. Right, the chorus is really easy. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. There will be no yawning. Good, 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 good. Oh, good, 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 good morning. It's a good, 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 good morning. It's a good, 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 good morning. It's gonna be a really good day. It's a good, 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 good. God, you're a good, 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 good God. You're a good, 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 good God. You are a really good God. Look why we are here today. We're here to sing and we are here to praise. I didn't hear what you say. I love this part. It's a good, 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 good morning. It's a good, 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 good morning. It's a good, 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 good morning. It's gonna be a really good day. It's a good, 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 good God. You're a good, 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 good God. You're a good, 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 good God. You are a very good God. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. There will be no yawning. All right, you guys like that song? Yes. Why are you clapping then? Because it ended? I really like that song. All right, let's do our next song. You guys know this one. This one's not new. Turn it up a little bit. We won't be quiet unless Pastor Matt's speaking. Oh yeah! You're everything we could ever want. You're everything we could ever need. You're the reason we're coming here. You're the reason we're gonna sing. Not that version of it. That version with the beat and all is a little newer than that. Yeah. We didn't do the jump around and the lean over, lean back stuff when I was a kid. Yeah, we nod our head. Okay, so all this month, what is this month? May?
Yay!
May, yes. What have we been talking about? What's our virtue for this month? Anybody remember? Trust? Okay. We've talked a lot about trust, but that's not been our virtue. Hope? No, that was last month. Responsibility. Okay? Can we go forward to the virtue slide? One more. There we go. Responsibility. We're going to go back to those others. Responsibility. Showing you can be trusted with what's expected of you. Now, do your parents have expectations of you? Yes. Right? They expect you to behave a certain way. Well, my kids, when I ask them a question, I expect them to say, yes, sir, or no, sir, when they answer me. I don't accept, yeah, or My kids say, and I say, excuse me? My kids know what's expected of them. And responsibility means that they show that they can be trusted with what's expected of them. Okay? Let's go back and look at week 1. It'll be the first slide after Father Abraham. There we go. In week 1, our bottom line was, I can be trusted when I make the most of what God has given me. Now, it's showing money there. Is that talking about money?
No.
Yes. But not only money. Okay? Not only money. Now, the Bible tells us that God owns everything. Alright? And He trusts us with some of it. Okay? It's like I tell my son all the time, Trey, he'll look at me and say, but this is mine. And I say, no, it's all mine. I just let you use some of it. Well, it's the same way with God. It's all His. He just lets us use some of it. Okay? I can be trusted when I make the most of what God has given us. Now, that does mean partly money. Okay? But it also means the stuff you're good at. Okay? Like Miss Carrie, who leads worship in there, or Alex, or any of the other musicians in there. They're really good at what they do. Now, they can make a choice. They can get in there and lead worship and use and make the most of that gift, that ability that God's given them. Or they can just sit in there and not lead worship. Let somebody else do it. I don't want to let somebody else do it. Okay? So yes, this does talk partly about money, but it's not talking only about money. Let's look at week 2. I can be trusted when I choose the right words. Anybody remember the verse from last week? Blah, 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 blah. All right, let's all do it. Blah, 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 blah. Come on, everybody. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right, good. We need to do that. Okay, does anybody remember the verse from last week? I know at least one person in here does.
Trey.
I know Trey does.
No, I don't.
Yes, because I made you write it 10 times. Hey, now. You guys obviously don't remember. Because you just did exactly what that verse said not to do. Trey, Ephesians 4:29. What does Ephesians 4:29 say?
Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen.
Yes. Don't let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth, but only that which is good for building others up. Now, when you guys laughed at Trey because I made him write the verse, did that build him up? No, it did not. That tore him down. Okay? I can be trusted when I choose the right words. Now, you guys were laughing, you weren't talking, but it's the same thing. I know. It's Father Abraham. It makes me sweat. And these lights are hot. Okay, I can be trusted when I choose the right words. Sometimes the things we say are true. Okay? But that doesn't mean it's okay to say it all the time. Okay? Somebody may come in here wearing an ugly shirt. Ugly. We could all look at them and go, "This shirt's ugly." We could laugh at them and go, "Ha, man, that's the ugliest shirt I've ever seen." But that's not going to... Thank you. But that's not going to build them up, is it? That doesn't build them up. Even if they have an ugly shirt on, maybe it's their favorite shirt. Okay? You know, there's that old saying that says you can't say something nice. Don't say nothing at all. Okay? This verse goes a step beyond that, though. Okay? It does say don't let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth. So it's telling you, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing. Okay? It is saying not to let bad words come out of your mouth. But it goes on to say, but only what is good for building others up. Okay? So if you see that person with an ugly shirt on, and everybody's making fun of them, maybe their shirt is ugly. And I'm not telling you to go up to them and go, "Man, I love that shirt." Unless you like ugly shirts too. But maybe you got some really cool shoes on. Okay? And maybe you could go up and go, "Man, I really like those shoes." Only what's good for building others up. You're laughing at me. That's not building you up. All right, let me get into my notes here. Let's look at our memory verse for this month. Whoever can be trusted with very little can be trusted with much. Okay? Now, let's say I gave you $10. Oh, sweet, $10. And I said, now, this is all the money you're going to have for the entire week. Okay? The whole week, $10. Monday comes, and you've already spent your entire $10. And you come back to me and say, "Hey, I need some more money." Now, I gave you a little bit of money. I mean, $10, that's sweet. If anybody out there wants to give me $10, I'll take it. But it's not a whole lot of money, is it? Nah. You know, not. Yeah, you buy like one Skyliner. You know. 2 of us might be able to go to McDonald's and get something, you know. Hey. But $10 is not a whole lot of money. But if Monday comes and you're already out of money, am I going to give you more? No. But if you made that $10 last until, let's say, Thursday, and you come back and you're like, well, you know, you come to me and you're like, well, you gave me that $10 and it's Thursday, and I'm down to just $2, but this thing I want costs $8. You think I might give you some more money? I might at that point, because you showed me you could be trusted with that little bit of money. Okay? Here's another example in my life. I'm the children's pastor here, right? Okay? Now me and these other adults and teenagers that help. When we started, there were not nearly this many kids. Okay? Right now in Awana, on Wednesday nights, we're averaging around 35. The first night we had Awana, we had 11. Okay? You were there.
I was there.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, probably all 4 of you, 5, yeah, you guys were probably among them. And maybe some of you guys too, I don't remember. But the very first night we started Awana, it was like 3 years ago now, we had 11. Now we've got 35. Now, the reason that happened is because even though we only had 11, we did what we could to minister, to show those 11 that we love them, to help those 11 grow, to learn Scripture, to have fun playing games, to learn stuff. We did everything we could. for those 11. We proved that we can be trusted with a little. And God has sent us more. Okay? Alright, so this week, we're not playing Rewind, but you guys recognize the game show buzzers, right?
I already recognize.
Okay. We're going to do things a little different. Let's see. I got to get my notes in order real quick. Well, you got to hold on. Okay, I'll do this. Okay, so this week we're going to do things a little differently. You guys are going to help me tell the story. Now, this story is one that most of us have heard before. Okay? And we're going to do it kind of like a game show. Alright? I need 2 volunteers. Chloe and Nate. Okay? You guys come up here one on either side. I'm going to ask a question. The answers are going to appear on the screen. Please wait till I read all 4 answers, and then buzz in if you think you know the right answer. So let's look at the screen after I read the question. Okay? Now, this story is Jesus. He's telling a story about a man who was traveling. Okay? Jesus told a story about a man who went on a trip from Jerusalem to Jericho. But somewhere along the road, something happened to this man. What happened to the man as he was traveling? Let's look at the possible answers. A, the man tripped and fell. B, the man stopped at a gas station and got a slushy. The man was attacked by robbers. Or D, the man's donkey ran away. Ah. All right, Nate, sorry about that. D, the man's donkey ran away?
I mean C.
C, the man was attacked by robbers. Let's look and see if that's the right answer. C, the man was attacked by robbers. All right, we'll give you guys another chance since I messed up and didn't have the thing turned on. Okay, so the man was attacked by robbers. He's traveling down the road. He's minding his own business. And some robbers attacked him. Now, not only did they take his stuff, they beat him up. They left him in the gutter on the side of the road, naked and bleeding. Okay?
That's scary.
Yes. They did. He's laying in the gutter on the side of the road. But that's not where the story ends. Okay? In the distance, so the man's laying in the gutter. In the distance, the man hears a voice. He looked and saw a priest traveling towards him down the road. The priest saw the man lying there suffering, and he did what? Let's look at the board. A, the priest stopped to pray for the man. B, the priest stopped to help the man. C, the priest did the cha-cha-cha slide. Or D, the priest passed by on the other side of the road. Supposed to wait till I finish reading the last question, but Nate, what's the answer? D, the priest passed by on the other side of the road. You guys agree with that?
Oh, yes!
Let's look and see if that's the right answer. D, the priest passed by on the other side of the road. Now imagine Pastor Mike driving down the road in his pickup truck. You guys see this pickup truck? I like this truck. It's pretty nice. The truck's 30 years old, and it looks that good. Crazy, right? It's almost as old as me. But imagine that Pastor Mike's driving down the road, and he sees somebody lying on the side of the road, sitting there bleeding. Now, do you think Pastor Mike would drive on by, or would he stop to help? Pastor Mike would absolutely stop to help that guy. Okay? But that is not what this priest did. Not only did the priest not help him, the man's lying there in the gutter. The priest goes all the way over to the other side of the road. He didn't even want to be near the man, much less help him. Okay? So, let's reset this. And we'll go on to the next one. Next question. Let's see. That was question number 2. Okay. Okay, so, that's all right. So the priest passed by on the other side of the road. The man's lying there. He hears somebody else coming. This next man is a Levite. Okay? A Levite was an expert in the law. All right? He's another leader in the church. But what do you think he did? Let's look at the board. A, the Levite stopped to help the hurt man. B, he used his phone to dial 911. C, he used his phone to play Angry Birds. Or D, he ran off like the priest. Chloe. D, ran off like the priest. Let's see, is that the right answer? Yes, he ran off like the priest did. Now this is a Levite. He was also a leader in the church. And when it says that he was an expert in the law, they're talking about the first 5 books of the Old Testament. Those are known as the law. And it was the rules that the Jews lived by. Okay? So when we talk about a Levite being an expert in the law, that's what we're talking about. Okay? So he was another leader in the church, and he walked right on by and left the man. Okay? So finally, the guy's laying there, and he hears a man coming on a donkey. Right? Now this man is a Samaritan. Now the Jews, they looked down on Samaritans. The Samaritans they just weren't as good as the Jews. The Jews were better than they were. Or so they thought. In fact, a Jew would not even talk to a Samaritan. So what do you think the Samaritan did? Let's look at the Lord. The Samaritan stopped to help the hurt man. B, used his GPS to map out an alternative route to be calculated. C, ran off like the priest and the Levite. Or D, took a picture of the man and posted it on Facebook. Nate, what do you think's the right answer, buddy? A, he stopped to help the hurt man. Indeed, he did stop to help the hurt man. Thank you guys. Let's give these guys a round of applause. So this Samaritan, a Samaritan man who was believed by the Jews to be somehow less. They weren't as good as the Jews. But the 2 Jews walked right by this man that was hurt. The man who'd been beaten up was laying there naked and bleeding. And they left him there to die. But the Samaritan stopped. Now Jesus, he asked the Jews that he was talking to. Jesus was telling this story, and this story is what we call a parable. Okay? You guys know what a parable is? Somebody tell me what a parable is. You can take Tyler, yes, Bill. So, can you explain what a parable is, Jared? Can you explain it? No? Okay, hold off. Trey?
Story.
It's a story. Okay? It's a story. You guys ever heard the story about the boy who cried wolf?
Yes.
Yeah, okay? The boy was tending sheep, right? And he cried wolf. And the people came running. And there was no wolf. And he laughed. He thought it was funny. The people went away. He did that 2 or 3 times, right? And he did it more than one time. That's all, you know. He kept doing it. He did it more than one time. Finally, he cried wolf, and nobody came. Okay? Now, is that a real story? Did that really happen? No. It's a story designed to teach us something. It's make-believe, and it's designed to teach us something. That's what a parable is. Okay? So Jesus was telling this parable, this story, because he wanted to teach the people something. Now, at the end of the story, you had the priest, the Levite, and the Samaritan. Before this story, and the reason that Jesus told this story, was because the people had asked Jesus, what's the greatest commandment? You guys know what the greatest commandment is? Somebody tell me? Remember? No, this was in the New Testament that Jesus was asked, what is the greatest commandment? What was his answer? Okay, that's the second half of it. What's the first half of it? Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul, and with all your strength. And the second half is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. So that the Jews, the people of the church heard Jesus say that, and they said, okay, but who's my neighbor? That's when Jesus told them the story. after the story, after Jesus told him about the man that was robbed, the priest that walked by, the Levite that walked by, and the Samaritan that stopped to help him, Jesus asked the people, who was a neighbor to this man? So I ask you guys, raise your hand and tell me, who was a neighbor to the man?
Samaritan.
The Samaritan. Now, but who was a Samaritan? This guy wasn't a Samaritan. So they're from different areas. How can they be neighbors? I mean, the neighbor is the person who lives next to you, right? No. Yes and no. Okay? Today, we think of our neighbors as the people whose houses are near ours. Okay? But Jesus is saying that everybody can be our neighbor. Okay? Anybody who is in need is your neighbor. And when you love your neighbor as yourself, this is what it means. When you guys get hungry, what do? You eat. When you guys get cold, what do?
Go to sleep.
Put on a blanket, put on a jacket, you cover up, okay? When it's raining,
You stay inside.
stay inside. Okay? Here's the deal. Sometimes we go out and play in the rain, okay? Yeah, I get that. But hold on. Sometimes we do go outside and play in the rain, okay? But most of the time when it's raining, we find some place where we can stay dry. When it's cold, we put on a jacket or we wrap up in a blanket, okay? When we're hungry, we eat. When we're thirsty, we drink. Now we do that because we love ourselves. Okay? We do that because we want to take care of ourselves. When Jesus said, love your neighbor as yourself, He means love them as well as you love yourself. Okay? So if you love yourself enough to make sure you got something to eat and something to drink, then should we love our neighbors enough to make sure they have something to eat and something to drink? Yeah. Okay? The Samaritan was a neighbor to that man who was beaten and robbed and lying there bleeding in the gutter. Let's look at our bottom line this week. I can be trusted when I choose to help others in need. Now, does that say that when I help those people that I like? No. Does it say when I help my friends?
No.
Does it say when I help people that don't smell funny?
No.
No. I can be trusted when I choose to help others in need. Doesn't just mean the people that don't smell funny. It doesn't just mean your friends. It doesn't just mean the people that you like. Okay? It even means strangers. Sometimes you will have opportunities to help people that you do not know. Okay? Just like the Good Samaritan helped that man. And that Good Samaritan, he didn't just get him up out of the gutter. He helped the man up, put him on his own donkey, took him to an inn, and paid for him to stay at that inn until he got better. Now, these days, we don't want to spend $5 to buy a stranger an extra value meal at McDonald's. Right? I would too. But a lot of people wouldn't. And this man, imagine paying for someone you did not know to stay at a hotel for as long as it took. He didn't say, here's some money, let him stay here for a couple of days. He said, let him stay here as long as it takes, until he is better. That could have been a couple of days, it could have been a couple of weeks, it could have been a couple of months. Could have been years, I don't know. We don't know how badly this guy was beaten up. Bad enough that he couldn't get himself up out of the gutter. Okay, that's pretty bad. Right? I hadn't been in a whole lot of fights, but I've been in a couple of them when I was a kid, and I've never been beat up like that. Where's a bear? So what does that got to do with us? I'm not a Samaritan. Are you guys a Samaritan?
No.
No, we're Americans. Okay? We're Americans. We're not from Samaria. So does this story apply to us? Yes. Okay? Am I telling you guys that you guys need to drive down the road looking for people laying in the gutter bleeding that have been beat up? No. No. Chances are you're not going to find that, but you might. I'm not suggesting that you put them on your donkey. Okay? But you know what you can do? Call 911. And you can stay with them until the ambulance gets there. Okay?
But I haven't watched it
It can be more simple than that. Okay? We talked earlier about what if a kid came in here with an ugly shirt on. Ugly shirt. Can't believe he wore it. And they had to be a boy because the girl would never do that. But a boy comes in here with the ugliest shirt that any of us has ever seen. I mean, it's so ugly you can't even believe somebody turned it into a shirt. I mean, really? And everybody in here is making fun of him. Okay? Everybody's making fun of this kid. They're saying ugly things, they're laughing at him, they're pointing. But then you walk in. You got a choice to make. There's like 20 of you guys here or something like that this morning. 22. There's 22 of you guys here. So one of them's the kid with the ugly shirt, one of them's you, so there's 20 people making fun of ugly shirt kid. Alright? And you walk in. And you got a choice to make. Either you're going to get with the group that's making fun of the ugly shirt kid, or you can go up to that kid, just like I said earlier, and go, man, those shoes are great. Or, I mean, maybe ugly shirt kid is ugly shoe kid too. I don't know. But you could go up and go, hey, my name's Matt. And you ain't even got to say it, but, well, you know, use your name. Unless your name happens to be Matt. But you could go up and go, hey, I'm whatever your name is. I'm Matt. What's your name? You don't have to tell him that his shoes are cool. You don't have to tell him that you like his shirt. I mean, his shirt is ugly. Really, I mean, we wouldn't call him ugly shirt kid if his shirt wasn't ugly, right? But you can be friendly to him. You can go up to him and go, Trey, I know this is an ugly shirt, but man, I really like you. Just kidding, that's an Angry Birds shirt. I love Angry Birds. I've wasted many an hour playing with Angry Birds. But no, you can go up to the kid and just be friendly. You ain't got to pretend like you like his shirt. I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't pretend like I liked his shirt. And what I would do is tell him that I like him, because that's the truth. If his shirt's ugly, I'm not going to pretend like I like it. And if he came out and asked me, I'd have to tell him the truth. I'd have to say, no, I'm not going to make fun of him. But if he asks me, if he comes up to me after the service and says, man, everybody's making fun of my shirt, do you really think it's ugly? I'd have to look at it and go, yeah, I'm afraid it is. Okay? No, it's not. That's not putting him down. Here's the difference. He asks me, is my shirt ugly? And I go, man, I'm sorry to say this, but yeah, it's kind of ugly. Now, that versus, man, that's the ugliest shirt I've ever seen! I can't believe you wore that! Are you blind? Dude, have you ever seen a mirror? Now, I said the same thing, right? I mean, I told him his shirt was ugly. But there was a difference in the way I said it. One way tears him down. The other way builds him up. The other way helps him next week to make a better choice for shirts, and turn that shirt into a grease rag. Okay? So this is what I want you guys to take away from here this week. Okay? Stay with me just a minute longer. I'm almost done. Okay? This is what I want you guys to take away from this. I can be trusted when I choose to help others in need. You will see people around you that are in need. Okay? But they may not be bleeding and dying in the gutter. Okay? You're not going to have, chances are you guys aren't going to see people that have that kind of needs. But you are going to see people around you that need help. Okay? Maybe you're at school and you see somebody dropping books. Pick them up. Even if it's ugly shirt. Help others that are in need, regardless of what their need is. Okay? I'm going to pray for you guys and we're going to go to our small groups. Now it's a smear on the carpet. Okay. Alright. Let's pray. Everybody close your eyes, bow your heads, we're going to pray real quick. Alright? Heavenly Father, we thank you that we can come here today. We can learn about you. We thank you for the Bible that you had the men and women write down for us so that we know how to live, so that we know that you loved us. Lord, we ask that you would help us to see the people around us that have needs. Sometimes we overlook them. We don't even notice. Help us to see people. Help us to see what they need, Lord, and then help us to meet their needs. We thank you that you meet our needs. We thank you for the people in our lives who have seen our needs and have met them. We ask you to keep us safe this week and bring us back again next time. In Jesus' name we pray.
Samaritan. You know, in that time frame, Samaritan was looked down upon. You know, people still do that today. They look down on people, which is not a good thing. God is not pleased with that.
Yeah, just one piece of